Okay, now these are short day onions. There's 3 types of onions that grow. There's long day, medium day, and short day. If you want your onions to globe, then you'll have to plant short day onions in Texas because they're the only ones that will globe in Texas. The state of Texas is all short day onions, but you can grow any kind. Medium day and a long day will just grow a giant green onion and it won't make a bulb of any kind. Maybe a small one for a medium day, but on a long day onion, it will never bulb. Now, onions you plant in January, which is unlike most other places that we plant because everything else is planted in February, March, April. You order your onions online. There's a couple of onion farms in East Texas. That's where these are from. Try to buy local whenever possible. And you plant them, and if you just want large onions, you have to plant them at least 5 inches apart from each one so they can have room to grow. If an onion touches another onion, it will not get any bigger than that because it will not force another onion out. They have to have at least 5 inches, I'd say. Now, in this particular row, they're going to be a little smaller than the row we're going to show you in a minute because I planted them every 2.5 inches, and then we pulled out the green onions in between these and let these go ahead and start getting bigger. If you don't pull them all out, you'll end up with smaller onions like these 2 that are getting close over here. And you'll still have a little smaller variety, but they'll last a long time as long as you keep them cool and dry and inside. Never pick an onion when it's wet. You always want an onion to be dry. A lot of people, they say when the tops fall over, you're supposed to pick an onion. That's not when you're supposed to pick an onion. That's tops fall over when the onion no longer needs the tops, and it's going to get rid of the tops so it can concentrate on making a bigger onion. So many people call me up and say, my tops have fallen over and I'm going to pull them. And I'm like, don't pull them. They still have 2 to 3 weeks to go before they get as big as they're going to get. Now, anytime an onion, you try to move it and it's still rooted into the ground, it's still working on itself. It's still becoming bigger. Later on, these onions will actually, you kind of just tap on them and they'll just roll out of the ground. That's an onion that's ready to go. One thing I want to show you right here, when onions try to seed, you want to pull this off just as quickly as possible, as soon as you see it. When they're that size, they're very good eating. You can chop them up, they're very tender, and you can use them with cooking, salads, or just eat them plain. The bigger they get, the more of your onion they will steal. And because when they get bigger, they become very tough and stringy, and you no longer want to eat them at that point. Plus, by breaking them off earlier, you'll ensure that your onion gets bigger than trying to just make seeds that'll be making an onion instead. Let's get to this other row here and we'll look at the bigger ones that we planted separately. This is a new red onion that we planted this year, and it seems to be doing pretty well. This is a breakover, and you see the greens are no longer really necessary here. But this onion will continue to get bigger as long as you leave it in the ground. So it doesn't want to give up. It's rooted in very tightly. These are all still rooted in and therefore still getting bigger. When they fall over, they're going to get big. And these have fallen over for about 2 weeks now. So you see they're getting much, much bigger, and they don't need the greens anymore. And those will be dried by the time I pull the rest of them out. You won't see any green in here at all. They'll just be all dried up tops. These are 1015s. They're round like a baseball. That's how you can tell your onions on that part. The round ones are 1015s. These are red onions. I haven't planted them before, but they're more flat type. And if you look at these over here, they're Vidalias. And they're more of a flat onion. They're not round like a ball. They'll have a little flatness to them. So they'll be more oblong. And you can see like that. They're more squatty, but they're shorter. I planted 4 or 5 long day onions just to show you. Look how big this onion is. It hadn't even thought about falling over, nor is it, because it's a medium day or a long day. And you see here, there's no bulb at all. And this onion won't bulb. They'll just continue to make a giant green onion, and it's probably still edible, but you know, they get a little tough when they get about that big. So medium day, long day looks like this in Texas. Short days look like that.